Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, just confirming. Yes, we are good to go. All right. So happy Friday to everyone.
Happy
Very
Friday.
thrilled, happy that we could spend a little Friday afternoon having some cool conversation. And today I am super thrilled and excited to be chatting with a fellow entrepreneur, Olena, who we've gotten to be in connection recently, realizing we live in the same city. What? And we had a lot of great learnings and insights. I went to one of her recent workshops, and it's just been great to connect. And I said, I have to share you with my audience. You have such valuable offerings that I think our audience could benefit from. So I'm happy to welcome Olena to our conversation today. Olena, how are you?
Hi, Elise. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here. I am so thrilled to be here. And yeah, I was so happy to see you at my workshop as well.
Yes, totally. I always believe in supporting, and I think it's kind of a law of reciprocity. What you put out you into the world, you get back. So I'm happy you could come on and be in my space a little bit today. So Olena, I was pretty intrigued by what you do. And sometimes it is important, I think, for people to understand the power of referrals and the power of what exists in your immediate space that could benefit someone else. So tell us a little bit about what you do and what you offer.
Yeah, so I specialize in helping coaches, high ticket coaches, to turn every client into two, three referrals who stay for years. And I do this by improving client experience. So I realize that so many coaches actually focus on the sales, the getting the new leads, getting that sale, but so few of them focus on what actually happens after the sale. And what happens after the sale is so important because if you can turn your current clients into your future clients, they are actually more likely to pay more. They're more likely to bring more friends, and they're more likely to stay and enjoy what you do. So you already have those clients that you can focus on, and you can just basically multiply them. And this is such a sustainable way to grow your business. Yeah, so I am very passionate about client experience. I'm very passionate about what coaches actually do, helping people achieve their goals, helping people overcome their limitations. I'm super passionate about that. So I am just really excited to be able to help them, to help coaches uh, help their clients achieve the results.
Yes, you're helping others help others, which is a pretty, like a very generous, yeah, way of looking at it. And I know, like for me, it is always important when learning and speaking with other entrepreneurs to understand your journey a little bit better. So, if you were to right now just go back in time and have a conversation with Olena pre-entrepreneurship, what
Yeah.
would you say to that version of you?
Okay, so I have so many things that I would say. And actually, I was thinking about starting my own business and doing my own thing for so long. Honestly, for probably more than 10 or 15 years.
Wow.
But I was always thinking, oh, now is not a good time. I always thought, and I think this was kind of um, my fault. I was always thinking, okay, I need to know exactly how it's going to turn out. So I need to have this plan that is very specific, that is very clear, and I need it to work. And then, yeah, later I realized that there is never a moment like this. And I heard this many times that there is never a perfect time to start a business. But it's about a mindset shift, I think, because when you start, there's no way for you to know. Um, for you to have just like a finalized offer, for example.
Right.
You need to keep adapting it. And when I was learning about project management, I really like this agile approach when you sort of you set a goal, so you have a long-term goal, and you basically hypothesize, okay, I think in 2 weeks I can do this to get myself closer to the goal. So let's do this, and then reflect back on these 2 weeks, see what worked, what didn't, and then we adapt. Yeah, so this is a kind of project management view. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs are a little bit more esoteric, and I also got a little bit into esotericism. And I saw, so you can call it agile or like esoteric
Yeah.
approach, I don't know. So in tarot cards, there is this, the Fool tarot card. And it's basically a picture of a person walking off the cliff with eyes closed. So,
Oh
and the idea
boy.
is that you believe in the journey. So, as you walk, the path appears before you. So, yeah, I
Mm.
really believe in that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So you're giving the reality of not having all the steps figured out or having the full roadmap to your entrepreneurship endeavor, but still taking that one step. And like the journey reveals itself. And I always tell people that it is very scary. That sounds scary. If I was listening, I'm like, that is pretty scary, but it is being, I would always say, taking a risk on yourself. Like you're the one who the risk is being taken on, which I always say has been my best investments
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah, 100%. So speaking of what would I tell my past
Yeah,
self, I would say to just take a leap and start, posting about what I'm doing. So I think having an audience is so important. And I was always learning something. I was doing like a diploma here, a course there, so I could just be posting about what I'm doing, imperfectly, just some quick videos on YouTube, maybe or Facebook. And yeah, like taking the leap doesn't have to be, okay, I decided to start a business. Let's quit this job,
right.
let's quit everything and start it. It can be just taking a leap of faith, believing in yourself, I think. So just deciding that you start this and it will work out no matter what, because as long as you don't stop, it will work out. Yeah.
Totally. And you'll get closer to what I would say you are meant to do. Sometimes what you think you want to do setting out, and I know I've changed even the model of my business and you work and you refine it. But yes, I think just starting and staying at the thing, it does get you closer to where you're supposed to be. And
Yes.
that's my story too. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Because you can only fail if you quit. So I really like that expression.
That's right. And speaking of
Yeah.
failing, because I know we've all dealt with that in some aspect or another, can you share a time, which I think is always important to do, because people see the end result, but don't see kind of the grind that happens behind the scenes. So, what comes to mind for you in terms of a failure that you experienced that became one of the most valuable lessons you've learned for yourself and your business?
Yeah, I'm a person who doesn't like failing, and I had to train myself to see failures as lessons, because looking at a baby, a small baby, they're not going to walk right away. They're going to fall, and then they're going to get up, and they're going to make another step, and then eventually they're going to start walking. So this is also how we learn, and you as an educator, I'm sure you know this, that failures are so important. So I've made plenty of those. I tried different offers that people didn't want, and I interviewed people to see if there is interest, and there wasn't any interest, so I was upset. But anyway, it was great because I could refine my offer. But the biggest mistake was, I think, I would say agreeing to do kind of big projects for free for people. So that was not smart. That was not smart because you get what you out of the thing, what you pay for. So people just don't value if it's
Mm,
and so I was doing custom Airtable build for operations for coaches.
okay.
And I did this for free. So that's a lot of time investment on my side. That's a lot of time investment. And I was working on this one project, and I had to go to my friend's wedding in Mexico. And I was in Mexico. It's just so beautiful for this wedding. And I would get up at 6 a.m. every morning just to work on the thing. And then the guy just ghosted me. So
Oh,
he
wow.
never checked like he never saw what I did basically. It's not like, oh, I saw this was not good, I'm not going to leave you feedback. Yeah, he never saw what I did. So that was pretty upsetting. I think now I like the idea of doing if you so I do like 1 hour consultations. They're free. So 1 hour is fine. But if you are investing, 30 hours for free,
Right.
I think that's too much. People don't value it, and that's unnecessary.
Yeah, wow, that's huge. Because sometimes it is, yeah, about offering value and giving value to a prospective client, but hours and hours and hours to be ghosted is a massive learning. So I love that you learned from that. And it seems, yeah, even your sacrifice was worthwhile for your bigger picture because I'm sure it wasn't comfortable or you didn't love being in Mexico working on something for someone who would ghost you. But that's a
Yeah.
part of the learning experience.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did learn that doing so much work for free is not worth it. But
Yeah,
also, like in the end, I did refine and improve my
that's it.
Airtable skills and everything. So it still was helpful in the end. It was not. I wouldn't say it was a complete waste of time or anything like that. Nothing is a complete waste of time, really, I think.
Agreed. Everything's a lesson. I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. And what's something about entrepreneurship that you would say no one talks about, but you wish more people understood?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so I think when I was thinking of entrepreneurship, I would watch movies and listen to podcasts about people talking about this. And when you see a movie of somebody, so they're showing somebody working on the thing, and then the next moment they're like, "Oh, here's me, I built the thing," but they don't show all this journey in between. So it is. There's a learning curve. There is time when you learn and try things out and they don't work out and you persist. So I think it's important to persist and be patient as well. And yeah, I don't think some people talk about it, but not as many people as I think not as many people as there should be, because everybody goes through these stages where they try things out. But what we see on TV, in the podcast, they're already accomplished entrepreneurs who already created the thing. They already
Right,
built.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, like what I've tried to do as well is keep things transparent and honest. So even when I am working with clients or like working with or chatting with people that know me, it's like, oh, Elise, you're doing XYZ. Yeah, but like it is a grind. Or there's some days where I'm like, ooh, I am I'm exhausted, right? I'm trying to find ways to save time and get different systems and just idea and ideation. These things are energy outputs, right? So it isn't this sit back and relax and just breeze through life. No, we're working, but it's in a different way, right? It's all at a different pace and also at a different level very often. So I always, yeah, I appreciate that. Keep it transparent. And that I think helps encourage others to know it's possible, but also the reality, it's not a walk in the park. Like you don't get
Yeah.
to just, not put in any work and have such great results.
Yes, exactly. So I think I like what you said. Things are possible, and more things are possible than many people think. but it probably requires more effort than you think also. Yeah.
Right, right. So, Lena, as we're kind of winding down, I would love for you to share, just for people who are curious about the whole retention and referral strategy, why should someone care about that and make it a priority in their business?
Oh, great question. I love it. Okay, so retention and referral. So first of all, that's basically free money, okay? Because you don't need to spend money on ads. You don't need to be going out there in the woods and the funnels, looking for your new clients. They're already there. So your current clients, they can buy your next thing, and they can do this for 2, 3 years, and they can bring more clients. So if you think of your ideal client, imagine if they could bring two more people, 2 or 3 more people like them. Wouldn't it be so nice? And then they stayed for 3 years. So this is the first reason because coaches basically can stop chasing leads. They can stop launching. A lot of coaches are also launching if they have retention and referrals in place. Okay. And second, honestly, if you have to always looking, so if you've been doing this for a while, if you've been doing coaching for a while and you have to always looking for new leads, so it is also possible that you're just letting more people know that your program is not that good. So because client experience plays a very big role in whether referrals and retention happen. So coaches statistically get more referrals than other businesses. So it's a very trust-based business.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, and even thinking of how I invested in the coaches I worked with, I don't care about the sales page. I want to know what people think. I remember one person said, "Oh, I'm doing this course and this is great." And I saw that she got the result. I just went to the sales page. I didn't read anything. I scrolled all the way to down and I bought the
you
thing.
purchased. Yeah,
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 yeah. So referrals are more likely to buy, and they're more likely to stay and refer others. So it's just a very, very sustainable way to grow your business. Yeah, and if you are not getting as many referrals and retentions as you want, so it is possible that you don't have the systems in place. So you perhaps haven't thought about how to ask people to stay for your next program or your next offer. You haven't
mhm,
thought about, okay, when do I ask for referrals? What do I offer in return? So
yeah,
this is one thing. Second is, you don't have the capacity because you're spending so much time following up with people, giving them feedback, and you can automate a lot of these things. And third, a third reason could be, client experience and your program design. Are they really getting the results? And are they really having the like referral worthy client experience? So, and these are the things that I help with. Um, yeah, because clients who are getting results, who feel connected to the coach, to the community, they will inevitably refer and they will want to stay. They will become your raving fans, which is
yes.
great. We'll want those raving fans. Yeah.
The raving fans are so key, and I think it pays itself forward further than we often think. Sometimes people may no longer be a client. Like for me in my space, sometimes people are no longer clients, but having someone speak on your behalf positively when you're not even aware. Sometimes people will reach out in the DM, "Hey, have you tried this program before?" Yes, it worked for me. Go for it. Like I am big on that because I know the benefit of that for someone else. So I put that into practice myself as well. And I think when we are, yeah, acting in a sort of a forward thinking way, and you pat my back one day, I'll pat your back the other day, that's kind of exactly what you're offering. Sounds like it supports.
Yeah, 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 definitely. So I focus on client referrals and client retention. There are also other ways you can get referrals through partners, for example, through networking. I focus specifically on client referrals and retention because it's connected very closely to client experience. Yeah.
Totally amazing. Well, Olena, I will you're going to hopefully send it to me, but let everyone know if they are trying to connect with you, how they can reach you, what's the best method to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am now having a few spots this month in April for the call.
Amazing.
So if you go to my Facebook page, it's Olena Vertepa, OlenaVertepa, and you can friend me. And also in the banner, there is a link for the call, and it's free, so we can figure out what are the areas that kind of don't let the referrals and retention happen. Yeah, and I would be happy to answer any other questions if your audience has any. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. So I will link your page below this chat, but really appreciate you taking the time on this Friday afternoon to
Yeah.
share with us. I found it valuable, and I know those watching did as well. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Elise. Loved being here.